Renard. Renard.
All right, what's going on, my people? Welcome to the SN95 Power Channel. So, man, huge mistake here. Like, I was calling myself recording and I wasn't recording the intro or the first half of this video. So we're gonna pick up on this video kind of midway, but let me explain what's going on today. So I started off this video where I wanted to test out coloring this trunk panels. So I have a bunch of panels, panels from a convertible and panels from a coupe. Obviously, we found out the last video that the panels from the convertible are just not long enough to fit in the coupe. So I'm going to use one of these panels from the convertible as a test piece. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean all this up. We're going to clean up the convertible panels. I'm going to show you kind of pretty much the same process of last time, but this time I'm going to do a little test section of this Sims. This is, I think they call it vinyl and leather, but you can use it for carpet also. And basically what they say is you are supposed to clean, your carpet, but in between cleaning, or in between coats, you're supposed to get a brush and kind of brush the carpet. And so I have a nylon brush that I'm going to use and kind of follow the instructions. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to spray one coat. I'm going to brush it. I'm going to let it sit and cure. Spray, brush, spray, rinse, wash, repeat, and we'll see how it turns out. And this time, I'm going to get a brush, a dry brush, and brush. So this is that little matte area right there that I don't want this trunk to look like after I spray it. So I want this to kind of not lay down once I spray it, but kind of have like a unidirection, not just all just flow in one direction. Kind of getting a brush. And this is actually what I'm going to do after I put the first, in between coats. I'm going to use this brush and just kind of brush it. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of brush this off one time. Now the instructions do say to put one coat on and then brush. Here's a little quick tip for y'all. If you're going to do any kind of painting in your garage, find some kind of air scrubber or make yourself an air scrubber. When I painted my red car, I made an air scrubber. I called it the SN95 Power Box. And all it was a Mark 8 fan hooked to a battery with a bunch of household filters on it to just get all that paint overspray into a filter instead of just floating around in the garage. That way you protect your health and the stuff in your house. So they say first coat, light. Doesn't take a lot. Oh yeah, this is going to be nice. They said in between coats, just brush it. Kind of go with and against the grain on this. you can see me going against the grain, kind of lifting this up a little bit. So that's one little light spray, and I'm not going to give it much curing time. I'm just going to spray it, and I'm going to put another coat on here. Because really all I'm looking for is just kind of seeing how this is going to lay. And I'm going to brush again. Kind of just, and I guess this is just working it into the fibers so it doesn't have that matte finish. Maybe this brush is a little bit too hard because it is like pulling up some of the material. So I think next time I won't use as coarse as a brush. All right, let's try to get y'all in a little close. And this is the problem that I can see. And it's not with the coverage, it's with this. These bristles are just too hard, and it's pulling up the carpet. I think if I didn't brush it, it would look better. So I think either A, use a softer brush, or B, don't brush it. And I think it will look better. I just think these bristles are just too hard. So I'll try to find a softer brush when I do the main panels, but I like the coverage. I like how this is going to turn out. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. I think it came out pretty good. I honestly think me brushing it actually made it worse. I think if I had a softer brush, it would have came out a lot smoother, probably the same texture. You can see here, I didn't really brush too good. There's a spot right there where I didn't brush at all. So I think I have a less abrasive brush that I will try to use. But yeah, we're gonna go with getting this black. So let's pull all this stuff out the trunk right now, and try to get organized. Since we're going to have everything out, we need to do some house cleaning. And when I talk about house cleaning, I'm talking about wiring in the trunk. So I'm going to fix all this janky wiring going to that battery. I want to have everything, I only want to have two wires going to that battery, a hot wire and a ground wire. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to use a distribution block for all my hots. And I have another distribution block. I think it's in the trunk of the car, but it's basically the ground equivalent of this. We'll mount this inside the spare tire well. I think this is like 4-gauge wire. This is why I like going to the junkyard too. Is just finding, bundles of wires from people. Yes, 4-gauge. Installing, car audio, whatever like that. They normally don't rip this stuff out when they junk these cars, so I like to grab the stuff when I see it. So let's get cracking on this trunk. All right, so this is the madness that's going on right now. This is just an extra ground wire that I found that I'm going to use. Basically, I'm going to mount the ground right here and the distribution block like right over there, and I'll have everything run up under the carpet. I'm going to there's some different terminals on the battery that I might end up using, or I just might have it face out like this. Probably still have this fuse to stay right there. Maybe I might reroute that also. I think I might reroute this fuse down in there also. But I just really want to get this battery clean. I don't want 5,000 wires on this. I don't want that terminal going over there. So let's figure out how we're going to do this. First things first, we need to get the battery out of here. I'm going to get all these panels back out, and I'm not going to re-clean them since I've cleaned it already. I need to clean these. I haven't cleaned these, so I'll steam these up and then redo the wiring for this intercooler pump. I kind of rushed getting this on here too, so I want to mount that a little different also, but that's not what we're going to work with today. Today is all about this. All right, so we got the battery out, and now we need to figure out what is what and how we're going to route all of this. All right, I have a lot of extra grounds in here, and I'm going to start with my grounds. The cool thing that which I did, which makes my life easier, I labeled all these 12-volt wires. So this is going from the frame underneath unibody. This is tied to the chassis, and then I need one coming from this distribution block to the terminal on the battery. So we have our ground complete. This is going to my battery terminal. I have my unibody connection right here, my chassis connection right there, and I think this is the Terminator X. So ground is complete, and now we need to figure out how we're going to do the hot side. Hot side, I'm going to use this kind of block right here. So we just got to figure out how I'm going to mount this. Heat shrink than this. All right, so I ran out of material, and I'm going to redo this ground. I need a longer main feed, and I need to redo this. I might just get for my fuel pump relay, get a fitting to go to this side terminal right there. So now that we have everything, quote, hooked back up, let's try to start it and see if it actually worked. All right, my phone battery is at like 6%. Fuel pump is good. All right, we're good. So this is what we have so far. I've got the Mustang Emporium piece under here that's for the main support. I have another piece of carpet that I'm going to lay down over this, and I'm going to cut out around this battery box. All right, so this is the carpet piece that I'm talking about. I'll lay it down as best as I can, and now it's just me trying to trim around this. So I kind of only got one shot at doing this, and I hope I don't jack it up too bad. I was hoping I'd get more coverage over here on this backside, but I'm not. But I think I have some excess on the front part that I can cut off and just kind of like lay something down around here. So let's give this a try real time. Let's see how this is gonna work. Come a little bit closer right here. Flat. So now we'll say right here. It's going to run. I could always trim it down. So let's say here. This would be my little hole. That guy. Same thing here. And that can go through that same hole also. Tuck like that, and then we could come. Oh, that actually fits perfect right there. And then we need something on the back side of it. Ouch. But so far, man, I think this is like a huge difference in what I did here. But tell me what y'all think. Huge transformation, right? I actually like it. And actually, I didn't even have to worry about this because the paneling, the side paneling, will cover that up. All right, I think this is a win as is. It's not like award winning, but it looks hella better than what it did at first. Also, I did make a decision. I'm going to get the subwoofer that's facing firing out that way. So I think this truck is going to be presentable. Oh, one last thing. All right, there we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint these brackets black, and or maybe I should paint it red. Yeah, I'm gonna paint it red. What do y'all think? Paint this black or paint this red? I'm thinking red. Since everything is gonna be black, maybe paint that red. But yeah, let's close this video out. All right, so that's part one. Now, my apologies. Like I said before, I thought I recorded the beginning of this video, so we kind of like hopped in at one point, but I really like how the trunk is turning out. I mean, it's a huge difference of aesthetics, how it looks now, just kind of cleaned up. Instead of that ball of spaghetti up top, all the ball of spaghetti is in the spare tire well, which I can live with that. It's out of sight, out of mind, which is cool. Also, it's a lot easier for me to disconnect the battery instead of having like 7 wires I have to disconnect off that battery. There's just one main feed to disconnect that battery. And once I get the subwoofer in there, clean up the jams, replace the rubber back there on the trunk. I have the automatic, the remoteless hood latch, the trunk latch now. So when I go to the shows, I don't have to keep my trunk closed. I can keep my trunk, pop it open, let people check it out. Not that, like I say, it's some kind of award-winning show or anything like that, but just goes to show everybody that, with minimum money and some, I don't want to say some, but with a lot of time, you can get your trunk looking OEM clean again. So if you have a raggedy looking trunk, get one of these little steamers. I have like this little Bissell. Matter of fact, I had this thing plugged up for like 3 days and unplug it. This little thing works wonder. You can find these like for 15, 20 bucks. But yeah, if you really want to rejuvenate your trunk, man, spend a little time, take those panels out, clean them. Next video, we're gonna start spray painting. We're gonna paint all these pieces black. We're gonna paint that carpet black. I'm thinking the bracket for the battery painted red. I would love to hear what y'all think. I'm not starting it right now, so maybe I'll get a poll up, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a poll up after this video drops, and by the weekend, whichever color is the highest. Now I have to do it before the weekend because the way I'm trying to do these uploads now, I'm trying to do my long form videos on Tuesday and release short forms, like the features on Saturdays. Do another short form. I gotta look at my schedule. I have it written down, but I'm trying to give y'all 4 uploads a week. 2 long forms and 2 short forms. Short forms would be features, 2 long forms would be working or topic based. Oh man, and I got a fire topic for y'all, and it's hilarious. I got 2 topics coming up for y'all. Be on the lookout for that. Make sure you hit the bell notification wherever it's at so you can be up to date on these uploads, because I got some pretty good topics for y'all that I think you're gonna enjoy. But be sure to leave a comment down below and tell me what color to paint the battery hold down bracket. And I'm going to upload this today, Tuesday, and I think if I can get a tally by Thursday, then that'll be the color. So I'm going to put Thursday as the cutoff. So hey, I appreciate y'all rocking with me on this long video. Until next time, God bless.